happening, folks? L.A.R movement still moving. I'm on the road for a little bit, so you see the title. Empowerment is usually a self thing, you know. So what winds up happening is you hear people who want to be empowered, but I think that's where things get confused and problematic. Because when you're talking about empowerment, men don't get it. Like, and I get to a degree that it's not really, guys don't look at it as oppression because women benefit off of all the work of men. So it's kind of hard for things that a man has done, you know? So that becomes a problem because guys are trying to figure it out like, okay, so if you need to be empowered, I'm on the road driving, y'all know, to empower yourself, you have a plan. So you want to be strong enough to be on your own and do things on your own. And you know, create for yourself and maintain for your state's empowerment. The ladies don't want to do it, you know, which is part of the problem. You know, your children want to be empowered. That's part of the thing. You raise your children to be adults and grow up and be empowered to be adults on their own. So when you're raising children, you're raising, you know, boys to be men and girls to be women. So how can I say this? From a male point of view, men didn't really hold women down like, you know, like, let me know if I'm back. Let me know if, you know, it goes in and out. But, and by the time they get grown, then they don't want to do this, that, and the third anymore because it's too much. It's too much work. Which I'm under a bridge right now, so maybe that's what it is. But maybe, you know, at the end of the day, when men are looked at as an enemy or somebody holding you back, men are not going to get it. These men are supposed to take care of you at the same time and yourself at the same time. And you're supposed to, like, rail against, understand that, I guess, from a male point of view, like, guys don't take, sometimes we don't take female empowerment serious because women don't want to empower other women. Like, there are women in great positions and y'all say y'all want to empower each other, but it's not like a holistic system. Like, the system is built in a way so, you know, let these men do all this other stuff and then let them fix the roads, fix the infrastructure, create everything, and then build us some buildings, and we're going to work in these buildings. What we're going to do is we're going to empower ourselves, but hire men, and we're going to hire all women to work all this stuff that these men created. And, you know, this is why female empowerment becomes confusing, because what happens when the stuff that these men make breaks down? You know, because just like in other countries, when they say, if you're going to come here and work and you're going to bring your business to this country, you got to teach us, empower us. We're showing us, if you want to be empowered to the point where, you know, when men are gone, you could work this stuff on your own. Guys get that ideology. But the problem is a lot of guys don't meet women who actually want to do the work. So it's like, okay, so you want to be empowered, but if something goes left, you want a man to come in and fix it, and then you can be like, get out of my way, I'm a queen, I'm back to being empowered. It doesn't really work that way, you know? But some people actually think it does. So for guys, like, what are we doing? You know? Plus, what winds up happening is, to say, you know, empowerment is synonymous with something against men. It's not synonymous with just women, you know, doing things. Us black folks in America, women are not like Japanese. Women are not either owed reparations or has been given reparations. So, and this is part of that, the part that guys don't get on is, it's like when you got yourself in with a group that has been benefiting off of their race, and then you saying y'all the same. White women are not an oppressed group in America. They're just not. As a matter of fact, they benefited the most off of the oppression of everybody else because they get all the benefits and none of the pushback. And to follow those women, to say, to follow that ideology and say we're going to empower other women, guys don't comprehend it. It's like, well, who the hell you empower? Like, you going to ask your husband to give you the money off of a company that he created to make sure you and your girlfriends, and if the business goes down, you go back to your husband and say, hey, we messed up the budget, give me some more money. It confuses guys because of just the practical application of it and the fiscal irresponsibility that it is so much so the enemy than the issue. Because if all men are the enemy and it's all men's fault, and these situations wouldn't be this way for men, men have been at the forefront of empowering women. A lot of the most powerful women you know have been empowered by men. But in other ways, when women they want to be empowered like men. Yeah, man. I did not know it's this difficult going live. I'm starting to realize, my phone can FaceTime on the road, but I can't do live on the road. Okay, makes no sense. But in men's way, you're gonna wind up oppressing your fellow women because you say the way men treat women is oppressive. So sometimes that's confusing as a man about female empowerment because you want to be empowered like men to be free of men, and when you're in a powerful position, you want to treat women the same way men do to make sure that they maintain power or something. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Maybe some people think it does. I don't get it. So just say, I don't get it. Now, what happens when you're not as powerful as you say? Because to empower yourself, you have to take on the ideology that, there'll be nobody to call. Female empowerment is confusing because part of being empowered is you gotta have all the questions. You gotta slay the dragon. You gotta build a castle. And if you gotta be the one doing it, there is no 1-2 call. So you can't say, I'm empowered as a woman, now it's time to go slay this dragon. Girl, call your man to come slay this dragon for us so we can be empowered. No, you gotta go do it. You gotta get your hands dirty. You gotta put in the work. And I think guys don't get it. Like, as Amir Brown would say, you can't, be traditional and Sasha Fierce. You gotta pick a side. And you can't think empowerment is, I'm empowered and I'm able to do what I want when I want. But if it goes left, what I need is I need a man to come here and fix it. That's not what it's about. And guys kind of check out of dealing with that ideology because if you're grown, be grown all the time. If you got yourself to a position where you feel empowered, then you're empowered all the time, right? You don't need me no more. Well, I shouldn't say anymore. You shouldn't need me that much. And I think that's the problem. Like, what winds up happening is people don't realize you're not needed as much as you need need people too much to say that you're empowered. You say, I don't need you like that, but if something go left, you need me like that. Nobody gets that ideology. You know, that's why I referenced earlier about being like when you're a parent and you got kids. Your kids will tell you, I'm grown, I can't wait. When I turn 18, I'm gonna leave here. I ain't gonna never come back. I'm gonna go to my own house. I'm gonna pay my own bills. I ain't gonna need you for nothing. And then I'm short on the rent. I need about $200 because I spent some of the money on games. But I thought, you know, I thought they was gonna let me slide. It's like, no, it's the grown world. So now what winds up happening is you're empowered, right? But you don't want the downside. You know, men have nobody to call. You know, even men who may be old at times have nobody to call. Even men who have empowered other people may not be able to go back and ask for help for some of the people. And that's some selfish stuff, I will say. That sucks. Somebody sent me a $20 super chat. I'm driving, so whoever that was, thank you. Y'all be getting me with that, man. I appreciate it. I'm always humble. I can't really read the comments because I'm driving too. So, but that's the thing. Like, what winds up going on is nobody could come out and say, "Look, man, I'm so empowered that I'm not gonna do nothing." And the flip side of that is this: men don't really. Men are cool with women being empowered. Like, we're cool. Like, hey, you want to be able to hold your destiny in your own hands. Cool. It's really connecting. You know, major metropolitan city. You know, I'm about to go to Verizon, goddammit, because Sprint kicking my ass. But men want to know the fruits of your labor. Sorry about that, y'all. Men want to know, you ladies who want to be empowered to do frivolous stuff. I just want to, you know, shop and say I don't have to depend on a man. Well, you didn't have to depend on a man to shop anyways. You know, you remember you got a job and blah blah blah. You worked, you got your own money, blah blah blah. You know, I just didn't want to, you know, I wanted to go on vacation when I wanted to go on vacation. Y'all go on vacation anyways. Nobody's stopping you. Like, we're not seeing ladies want to be empowered to say, I'm gonna start a farm. You know, I'm gonna feed families, and I'm gonna feed battered women or homeless women, or I'm gonna look out for, you know, I'm gonna create a company in this business that will take care of girls. Because one of the things, and I started thinking about this because of Nicole's hangout. When one of the young ladies, we were talking about Oprah at a point, and one of the young ladies said something to the effect of, and I asked the question, and she was like, well, Oprah really doesn't do anything, like, you know, for the community. And I started thinking about that, like, how often do these women actually do anything for the community that are empowered? Somebody else sent me a super, thank you. Like, I keep looking over this. I don't know who did it because I'm driving right now, but thank you. The crazy part about that is this, though. What winds up happening is, if you're not empowering other women without using men as the enemy, basically you're just telling them the only reason that they need to be empowered is because they don't like men. They don't need to, because part of being empowered is creating a legacy. Not like, you know, people have been talking about building together and growing and a legacy. You empower yourself to create a legacy. So if you have no idea of wanting to create a legacy or thinking about creating a legacy, you're really just wasting your time being empowered. But I guess this is the beginning stages of this in the first place, because I don't think women have, I think it's a whole new empowerment, and power is a new concept to them in a masculine way. And I think they don't really get that you don't, to get free, you also have to maintain your freedom by never going back to where you feel like you were oppressed, you know. And that's one of the eerie things about this dynamic of female empowerment is the natural relationship between man and woman. Because if you feel like men oppress you, but and you don't want to deal with men per se, then what winds up happening is you're not you want to deal with women more so than men. Like what I mean by that is I'm gonna try to use a silly reference. Wonder Woman, all of those women empowered themselves and they had no men around, right? So the environment was was female based, right? And what wound up happening was the first time a man showed up, the women was like, "Ooh, we got a man here! Goodness!" You know, they wanted to jump his bones because there wasn't no men around, right? And you got to know Island for the Women. Like people probably make fun of Wonder Woman's home the same way they make fun of Batman being in the cave with little children and Alfred. Like I don't trust it. But the other thing about that was they separated themselves because of a disdain for men. The question sometimes is the disdain warranted? Because some of these people have really, like men have empowered them their whole lives. You know, men have supported them their whole lives. Men have been part of their support system. Men have helped them get jobs and mentored them and got them promotions and gave them cash, got them in schools, gave them platforms and this, that, and the third. And it's like, well, if all of this is going on, then what are we talking about? Because the very people who've been empowering you, for the most part, are men. It doesn't seem right. Because men will oppress other men to make sure women are empowered. You know, men will screw other men over to make sure a woman's okay. Righteous or unrighteous, whether they're doing it because they feel like, excuse me again, we don't they fully grasp the concept. Sorry about that. I ain't gonna be on here much longer because it keeps going in and out and I'm almost at my destination anyway. But old Chris Rock joke and the old Dave Chappelle joke, feminism, so you're gonna have to, you know, and you know what's confusing is the pushback that men get when they don't want to help people. You know, men like, you know what, you grown, you're a grown woman, you don't need a man, you got this. And then the women like, well, I do need a man, I do need a man. The guys are like, look, man, you spent all this time saying you didn't, so now you know you got to show your work, sure. You gotta do it without a man. You got to do it without men's help. You got to do it without men's money, men's resources, men's ingenuity, men's networks, right? Because to a degree, I think even part of this movie era that I'm seeing with more and more women in this, like, I know it's probably nice to see on screen and it's an empowering ideology, but what's going to wind up happening is the same way you see some of our sisters, they don't like the strong black woman stereotype and trope because now men are like, oh, you a strong black woman, you got it, don't worry about it, and they're not looked at as women anymore. All women are gonna be looked at like that in America. Oh, you got it. No, you don't need no help. You're a strong woman. I don't care how young you are. I don't care how old you are. You got it. You know, you scraped your knee, dust it off, stop crying. You're a strong woman. Yeah, you're 3 years old. So what, right? But ultimately, what's gonna wind up happening is we see the pushback of these men ain't really men anymore. Well, men don't have to be the men that our granddads were because you wanted to be empowered. So the things that our granddads did for women and the things that our dads and granddads taught us to do for women, you know, ladies have been fighting, so y'all don't want us doing that for y'all because you feel like, you know, it's an insult. So since it's an insult, well, you're gonna have to eat that feeling of he ain't really man enough. Whoever sent the super chat, thank you. It's not pop like it ain't popping up while I'm driving. Because I don't even know if people are chatting to be perfect. So it's just me going live. But at the end of the day, what's gonna wind up happening is these guys, people want gender fluidity, and you seeing this play out where the women don't want to be with boys who want to act feminine, and the men don't want to be with girls who act masculine. Being fluid, but it ain't that daggone fluid to the point where people are like, I'm not rocking with none of that. And what's gonna wind up happening, it's not gonna be as confusing because now even when I saw the guy who he set a record in track and hurdles because he's trans now. Now he's a woman this year, so now he won the national championship as a woman, but he was like ranked 300 like a year ago or 2 years ago as a man. It's gonna go left, man. It's gonna go completely left. And because now you're equaling the level of the playing field the wrong way. Because if you see men as the bar, and you allow certain men who want to see themselves as women lower the bar, they're empowering themselves by imitating a woman, knowing that they could beat women. And guys have warned against that. This is why I said female empowerment is confusing, because if you ask men, or women, a legitimate question of, how have the majority of women in America got their wealth? Was it from hard work or divorce? Did they? It's because of a guy, and that's where they got their riches from. And a lot of times, people are probably going to lean more towards because of the debt involved with education and all this stuff. And even with the Me Too stuff, it has so many women who screwed their way to the top that you don't really. So that's the problem. So now we're gonna find out what this really means in real time, sooner before later. I'm at my destination. Y'all have a good day, y'all. I got to get out of here. Peace.